Welcome to Group X Appeal. Today we are exploring environmental well-being, both inside and out. Whether you're looking to recharge with nature or create an inspiring indoor space,
we have several simple ideas to help you thrive in just about any environment. From outdoor fun to indoor sanctuaries, it's all about feeling grounded, refreshed, and inspired, no matter where you are.
Hey there, welcome to Group X Appeal. I'm Kimberly Spring-Glick.
And I'm Terry Shorter. We're excited to bring you this hot and sweaty podcast.
With over 25 years of experience each in the health and fitness industry, we're here to share hilarious, heartwarming stories from our lives and careers.
And offer practical nutrition tips, expert exercise advice, and strategies for holistic well-being and a positive mindset.
Group X Appeal is your go-to source for inspiration, motivation, and a few laughs along the way.
So tune in and let us help you be the healthiest, happiest version of you. Hey there, Terry and
Kimberly.
We're here, episode number 11, where we are talking today about environmental well-being, which just simply means having a what? Having and or creating positivity wherever it is you spend a great deal of your time in. And anything else, there's another part of the definition as well, isn't there?
Yeah, it's also about connecting with nature, like getting outside, outdoors, and connecting with nature.
Yes, there's so much to see out there. And Kimberly's going to kick that off, actually, finding some beauty in nature.
Yeah, I mean, it's so important that this great, big, beautiful world that we live in, to be willing to and to set time aside to get out and explore. There's so much beauty in nature, and a couple of ideas that we kind of brainstormed. What if you got out to a local garden? You know, there are a lot of parks. There's actually a park near my house that has a small meditation garden. Or what if you found a local botanical garden? There's lots of those across the world. Check out a botanical garden that has been manicured in a way that really highlights the beauty of nature. And for me, a big one for me is waterfalls. Waterfalls, lakes, rivers, pretty much any kind of water feature is such beauty to me. I love forests. I love being in a forest. I love being surrounded by lush green color. Just being able to get out and appreciate all that nature has to offer, I think is so incredibly healthy.
Absolutely. And, you know, when you're out there in nature, all of your senses are stimulated. One of my favorite things to do when I'm out there, I can feel the energy.
Yeah.
When you're out in nature.
Well, it's all alive.
Right?
Yeah.
It's amazing that, you can be out in the forest is one of my favorite places to be as well. Immediately you can smell the pine. You can hear the animals, scurrying or the birds flying. You can taste, the dew in the morning. I mean, all kinds of senses are activated when you're outside.
Absolutely.
So
got to explore.
Got to explore for sure. Get out there and find that beauty. Another thing, while you're out there in nature, be active. I'm somebody who can't stay still for very long at all. I've got to get up and move. You can do stuff like go for a walk.
Oh, I'm a big walker.
Huge walker.
I love walking. I like just out.
Yep. Hiking.
So when I used to travel all the time, I would, wherever I would get out of the hotel as soon as possible and I'd just start walking.
Yeah.
And sometimes it was, through more urban streets and settings, but sometimes I'd just find a local park and I'd just go walk. It used to drive my mother insane. She's like, why must you always be off gallivanting? It worries me. She called it gallivanting. I think you should gallivant.
Yeah, don't just walk. You need to gallivant. We need to write that down. Yes. I love that. So gallivant, go on a bike ride, go for a picnic. I haven't done that forever.
Oh, right?
Yeah.
One of my favorite things is a picnic overlooking the ocean at sunset.
Can't beat that. You can't. We're so lucky here on the West Coast. If you're not anywhere near the ocean, come visit us. Come say hi. Other things, being active outdoors, sports, right? In different kinds of events. We mentioned in one of the past episodes, pickleball. That's the big thing right now.
Well, how could we not mention pickleball right about now?
It's the fastest growing sport on the planet.
Yeah.
And you see just such a broad range of demographics on those pickleball courts nowadays, from teenagers all the way to mature adults like us. Are we mature?
I don't know who you're talking about.
I meant to say immature adults like us.
Speak for yourself.
And mature adults. So, pickleball is like the hot new trend right now. Shoot some hoops. Get out on the blacktop.
I can play horse.
There we go. That works.
Yeah.
Right. Just getting outside, listening to live music. That's being active as well.
Being outside. Yeah.
Right.
All fun activities.
So yeah, please let us know what kind of outdoor activities you like that causes you, kind of sparks that environmental well-being for you.
Yeah.
So.
And the one thing that we didn't mention is probably, I know my favorite, and I think it's at least one of your favorites, is hiking.
Yeah.
Getting out and challenge yourself a little bit more than a gallivant.
Yeah.
But
not
really,
much more. It's pretty close.
Well, it depends. If we do Black Star Canyon,
that's a hike.
He introduced me to a hike locally here called Black Star Canyon. Let's just say you need your feet and your hands to get through this hike. It's awesome.
We're climbing. So, we call it bouldering.
Bouldering.
Yes.
Is that what we call it?
Bouldering.
I was bouldering. Yes.
And gallivanting.
All at the same time.
So what if you don't want to be active? What if you just need some time to chill?
Yeah, I think that one tip is be active. And our third tip when it comes to being out in nature is just be. I think for all of us, there are certain settings in nature that sparks a sense of joy and a sense of ease.
Yeah.
I think for us, we're both Pisces. And so for us, it's water. Just being near water. I love being in water, but honestly, just being near water is so my happy place. I just can't even, there are no words.
Yeah.
Mountains, for a lot of people, it's mountains, being up in the mountains. And I love mountains too, but I like to visit the mountains. I want to live as much as possible close to the ocean. But lakes in the mountains are really beautiful too. So I get a little water there too.
Yeah.
For some, it's the desert. Not so much a desert girl. For some people, the desert is like this magical place. We hear all about, spiritual places like Sedona, Arizona is known for having this kind of magical energy to it and such. So for some, it's the desert. So there are these different settings where you have an opportunity to go, and you don't necessarily have to explore as an agenda. You don't have to be active as an agenda. In fact, you don't have to have an agenda at all, other than just the intention that you're going to just be. Maybe this is where we practice some breathing techniques or meditation or just, power nap. We talked about
that works too.
The importance of that.
Yeah. Getting grateful, for being in that environment as well. That's an activity where you're just being and getting grounded. One other, microclimate that, came to mind as you were talking about being around water. Yes, we love being around water as Pisces. I love frozen water too. So when I'm out in the snow, that's another place that brings me joy. Super peaceful. Yeah. I snowboard, and so I love being out there, just sitting, in the snow with my board on my feet, and that's a very peaceful and just serene, time or place to be out and just enjoy.
I think one of my favorite things growing up on the East Coast was just after it snowed.
The calmness.
And it's just so quiet and calm. Oh, yeah. That's cool.
So that is a cool one. So those are three, some of the three key environmental well-being tips that we have. Again, finding beauty out in nature, being active, and then just being, just getting grounded, just simply being, right? But what about indoors? So if we're talking about spending your time inside, how can we make your environment get to a place where you are relaxed, where you're calm, where you feel that you just feel that sense of peace. That's the word I was looking for.
Peace, ease, joy. Don't we all want more of that?
We do.
So what can we do? What's one thing we can do?
Well, I think one of the things is decluttering your space. Creating that physical space. So
you got to Marie Kondo that stuff.
That's what we're going to call it from now on.
We're not decluttering. We're
Marie Kondoing.
We turned her into a verb.
Right?
That's awesome.
That's all right. Well, same with boulders. We were bouldering, and now we're condoring. So, declutter your space. If you're a person that loves, has to have things in its proper place and in a certain order, you like to be able to find things quickly, get rid of stuff. There's what's called, Catherine Ponder wrote the book, The Law of Prosperity. And she talked about one of the laws, which I loved and implemented in my life, is the vacuum law.
Ooh.
So getting rid of things, and not necessarily even tangible physical things, just things that you don't need in your life anymore. Just kind of being rid of those, releasing those, so you can create more space for better things in your life. So
Because when you create physical space, you create energetic
Space.
too.
Yeah.
So it's fascinating, the connection there.
Absolutely.
Nice.
So once you declutter your space and you've got, you got your environment kind of set, what are some other things you can do to tap into some sensory?
Yeah, for me, it's about, as we mentioned when we were kind of defining environmental well-being, if you look around in any space where you tend to spend a lot of time, now this could be your kitchen, this could be, like for me, I work from home.
Your
so,
office space.
My office space. What can you do? Or maybe you have an office you go to. Maybe you spend a lot of time in your car. So it's anywhere you spend a lot of time. What can you do to spark joy? How can you add inspiration in some way, shape, or form? And so we think about kind of the different senses. And the first would be visual. What can we do visually to add to the space? Now that we've decluttered, what can we very intentionally add to the space? So where I work, I have a little wall behind me. It's actually a wall this way and a wall this way. And on one wall, it's like a mini vision board that I have. And then on the other wall, I call it my wall of inspiration. And there I've got some of my favorite quotes. I've got pictures of friends and family. And then most importantly, when I'm working, I have notes and cards from previous clients. So when I'm working and maybe I start to feel a little burned out and need some inspiration, I just turn around, look at that wall. I see quotes and pictures of people I care about. And then those notes from clients that it just fuels me for the journey to get inspired and get back to the good work that I want to do. And then other things could be like flowers and such that, pictures that just spark joy. I've got one picture on my wall that's me laying under a palm tree because that's a favorite place for me. So it's a picture of a palm tree. So lots of things visually can spark joy.
For sure.
And so then we got to go with auditory, the things that we can hear. What kind of sound are you creating in your space? Could you play some music that is either soothing, if that's the vibe you're going for, or maybe it's uplifting. Maybe it's one of Terry's daughter Keone's new songs. That could be really cool. So you have the music that maybe suits the vibe that you're trying to create based on what you're doing in the environment. You have maybe it's just like white noise. Where there are a lot of apps for that, like Calm or Insight Timer, and it could be something like a rainfall or ocean waves, or what if you had an actual water feature, like one of those tabletop water fountains, things like that, something that creates some kind of sound. And if you prefer the complete silence, that's okay too, but it's about being intentional about the vibe you're trying to create for yourself in that space where you spend a lot of time. And then, of course, the third sense would be the olfactory sense.
Oh, so what is olfactory? Did you say old factory?
No, I did
like an
not
old building?
say old factory.
Like a rundown building?
It is not an old rundown building. As a matter of fact, it is, let me school you, the sense of smell.
All right, olfactory.
Which, yes, olfactory,
Got it.
which I'm not schooling him because he's the one that found this term for us. I was like, what is the term? So I know visual and auditory. What's the term for smell? So I think I said something like smellatory.
Smellatory.
I think it's smellatory. Sure. I would have gone with that. But
People come here to learn stuff. You know that? Isn't that
that's
awesome?
True. It's true. It's pretty spectacular, actually, if you think about it. So when you think of the olfactory, your sense of smell in the space that you spend time, what are things that kind of spark joy, that inspire you? For some people, it's candles or it's incense. I'm really big on like the heated wax melter thingies. They probably have a name.
Heated wax melter is good. The HWM.
Did you just make it an acronym?
Yes.
I love it. But they're the little units that you put the little wax squares on, it melts and then releases this beautiful smell.
And they last forever.
Oh, they're amazing. Yeah. Also another opportunity to appreciate flowers. Visually they're beautiful, but if you get flowers that smell really good, my favorite, in case anyone's wondering, Asian lilies. Like especially the stargazer. They're beautiful, but they also smell so good. Whenever I have those on my countertop, when I walk into my house, I smell them and it just makes me smile.
Yeah.
Could be herbs. What
kind of herbs? Like rosemary, basil, right? Those kind of herbs.
Those two.
The legal.
Just those two.
Got it.
And I don't think this is an herb, but I love cinnamon.
Cinnamon.
Yeah,
that
especially
smells
kind of in
good.
the fall throughout the holiday season, I'll
Yeah.
get like the pine cones and like put the
That's
cinnamon.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah,
Smells
so
festive.
all the different essential oils and things like that that can bring scents to life that actually all elicit different feelings. Just like
Different
I didn't
emotions.
mention this with the visual, but colors
Yeah.
elicit different emotions within us. Like blue is known to be
Calming.
more calming, yellow for a happy,
Uplifting.
uplifting, red for powerful. So, did you just growl?
I just growled.
So back to the olfactory, I think one of my
We're
favorite
going where?
are going back to the olfactory. No, back to the sense of smell. What about chocolate chip cookies?
Or any baked goods for that matter.
Any big, well, of course. Who are we talking to? All right. So you know what I've gotten really good at?
I can't wait to hear.
I mean,
you
if
better make them and bring them.
Seriously, I was going to say, if you like this, I will definitely make some and bring them for you.
Yes, the answer is yes.
Chocolate chip banana bread muffins.
You had me at chocolate chip.
I make them, all organic. I add protein, and I've been able to master it because I've been on a kick lately for finding really good recipes, but then swapping
Alternatives.
things out to make them healthy.
I love it.
And I am not gonna lie, I am not always successful, but this I got down.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well,
so
one
good.
of our guests that we have lined up eventually is a chef who does just that.
Oh,
she specializes
yes.
in that. Chef Maria.
Amen, Chef
So
Maria.
you guys are you're gonna love each other.
Can't wait.
So yeah, so all those different senses to stimulate those, just to get that, stir up those emotions
Yeah.
of well-being, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So, getting out. This is number 3. Or number 2, rather. No, this is number 3. This is it.
It's 3.
Yeah. So
this is it.
get-
You're bringing it home.
I'm bringing
you are
it
the
home.
grand finale.
So
No pressure.
We started with outdoor environmental well-being, but let's say you want to get out of your day-to-day environment to other positive environments that spark joy that happen to be indoors, right?
Yeah.
So for me, I love comedy clubs. I
I
love
love
seeing
comedy
comedian. I know you do too. You appreciate a good laugh.
I do.
Right. That's one of the things that I love to have done in a while. So we gotta
we're
do
gonna have to
that.
change that.
We're gonna have to do that. So
We have an amazing comedy club that's like 15 minutes away. We should be there every week.
all the time, like every day if I could. I love to laugh. I know you do too.
What?
So comedy club, live music. You just were at a concert last week.
Yes.
That brought you joy. I know it did.
so much joy. Michael Franti is one of my favorite live performers.
Yeah.
If you don't know who Michael Franti is, you have homework.
Yes.
But his live shows, like he is liquid joy.
He is. You can pick up any of his albums and you will love every song on every single album because he is Mr. Positivity.
Yep.
So we need more Michael Franti in the world for sure. Theater, Broadway shows, for example, or any kind of theater.
Yeah. Remember, I
Dramas
just
too.
saw Hamilton recently.
Hamilton. And she loved it.
Loved it.
Yeah. 2 thumbs up at least, right?
As many thumbs as I could find, I would give it.
So those are a few things. Museums, right?
Yeah.
Now let's go for like the low cost kind of activities that are indoors. Museums don't
Yeah.
cost a lot of money if you're in DC, where you're from.
Absolutely.
Museums are what? Free.
Free to be.
Absolutely. So, and then some people, not Kimberly and I, but we know a lot of people love this kind of, it sparks this kind of joy is retail therapy.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like my 12-year-old son likes to shop more than I do.
Wow.
That is no joke.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a thing for me either. My daughter, of course, loves it.
Yeah.
She wrote a song actually, just dawned on me right now,
Oh my
called
gosh.
Retail Therapy. I have to play it for you.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it's such a cool song, and she brings it. So, those are just some ideas where you can get out of that day-to-day kind of environment that you're accustomed to, whether you're in your office, whether you're, running your kids around to their activities, whatever you may be doing. Put it on your calendar. Schedule getting out and experiencing the energy, the love, the light that all these other kind of activities have in store. So what's your favorite, by the way, out of all the things that we mentioned, getting out and about? Comedy, of course. You love
as far
live
as the
music.
changing environments?
Yeah, changing environments.
Next to comedy, oh gosh.
It's a toss-up.
Oh, it's so hard because I love live music. But I love theater. I love movies too, just like movie theater.
She just loves it all.
I
We didn't mention
love it
movie
all.
theater.
Yeah, I love going to the movies.
Yeah.
Like the ability to kind of escape into someone else's imagination for an hour and a half to 2 hours
Yeah.
is such a gift.
It is.
It's really cool. So I
is.
kind of love it all. It's hard.
That's awesome. I'm actually going to a drive-in movie theater on Saturday.
Oh, fun.
Back where I grew up.
Yeah.
Haven't been there since I was a kid.
What are you seeing?
I'm going to see Venom 3.
Oh, okay, the new
So
one.
with
So
Tom
it's a new
Hardy.
movie,
Brand new
but old
movie,
school style.
Old school style. Yep.
Oh.
Cannot
Is it like
wait.
the speaker on the side of the car?
They have the radio frequency in the car
Okay.
now. Yeah, it's in the car now. So I used to love that. The metal speakers you hang on your glass window, hoping
Yeah.
it's not going to break. Yeah. So let us know what, a few of the things like in your environment indoors, for example, what kind of inspiration do you add to your space?
Yeah.
Is it auditory? Is it visual? Is it olfactory?
Oh my.
And then when you're outdoors, what are some
That
of
was
the
like Sexy Six all over again.
olfactory?
I don't say things that cool. I'm going to find a word that I can say really cool.
You say all kinds
and
of
I'm
words.
going to bring it.
You do.
It's gonna
say
be
a lot of
brought
words.
in.
Well, just bring it. You already brought it. So we can't wait to hear the activities, both outdoor and indoor. I just mentioned, the indoor stuff, but outdoor. Let us know what kind of activities, because we want ideas too. We want to be inspired by you.
Yes, please let us know. And by all means, share this episode with anyone you think can benefit from just the concept of being more connected to your environment, both indoor and outdoor, and creating more positivity wherever it is you spend a good deal of time. When this Wheel of Wellbeing first started coming together, I had a lot of people question me on the idea of environmental well-being. It's like, what is that? It's so important.
Yeah,
it's so important. So it is worth giving some time and focus to. So check that out and just kind of do a little self-inquiry, a little self-assessment, and see where you have some opportunity to be more inspired. And then share that with us. Share this episode with others so they can be more inspired, we hope, because that's our goal.
Right. For sure.
If you haven't downloaded it yet, if you're on one of the podcast platforms, download it. If you're on YouTube, you got a place to comment. Let us know your thoughts.
Yes, we would love to hear that.
And they can find us over on the Book of Face and the Gram of Insta.
And the tube of you.
And the tube of you. The tube of you.
So, well, fantastic. Well, we, again, as always, we thank you. We appreciate you. We love you. We really thank you for joining and taking the time to listen the last few minutes about environmental well-being. Make sure that you listen to any of the past episodes you haven't listened to, as we just newly came into double digits here at Group X Appeal. And you're not going to want to miss episode number 12, which is all about social well-being. We're not social creatures, right?
I think we are probably more social than most, but we are all social beings. We are hardwired for connection. We are going to dive deep into that.
Let's go. So until next time, as always, we want to wish you a great day. And why?
It's a great day to have, my friends. Get it.
Take care.
Much love.